Back to another day, another episode of The Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, I don't know why my mic didn't turn on until a little bit delayed, but on today's show, we're going to be watching a Legendary Drops video of the gaming industry has lost their mind. We're also going to be talking about the deal is getting worse all the time for Xbox fans, upset at the latest Microsoft Rewards nerf that's happening. So we'll talk about that as well. We're also going to go over Call of Duty Black Ops 7's wallhack Killstreak is receiving a frenzy of criticism, but isn't the point of Killstreaks. We'll talk about that as well. And then if we have time, we'll talk about this first, actually. EA's new buyers reportedly hope that AI can be used to cut operating costs and boost profits, just in case the $20 billion in debt wasn't already concerning enough. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of research on what the $20 billion debt was, right? Krebsy was asking me the other day, he's like, what's the $20 billion debt? What's the $20 billion debt? I was like, I don't know, because I thought EA was profitable, and I know there's debt, right? So I had to look it up. And why they have this debt, right? So when I did the research, and before I get to this, we'll say good morning to everybody. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Mo? What's going on, Eclipse? El Nini, good morning. Travis, Altern, Roic, Big Mo, Water Bear, Jason. Who am I missing? Anybody? Going down, scrolling down, seeing everybody. Worlds, what's going on? Sarge, good morning. Kylo, good morning. Robert Jones, good morning. Mr. Luke, good morning. We don't say good morning to bot, Ricks. It's a bot. So we were just looking because the other day I was asked, and look, if I don't know something, I'm not going to pretend I know it. I'll give you my opinion, right? But I'm not going to tell you like, oh, their debt's because of, I have no idea what their debt is, right? So it says here, EA didn't build up a $20 billion debt through bad spending or losses, okay? Instead, before the buyout, EA was in solid financial shape. It was profitable and didn't carry any massive long-term debt. During the buyout, to make the $55 billion acquisition possible, the buyers of Saudi Arabia, PIF, and Silver Lake Infinity Partners are using a leveraged buyout, okay, which is an LBO structure. This means that part of the purchase price is borrowed money, around $20 billion in loans, and those loans are then pushed onto EA's books once the deal closes, right? So like right now, EA is still owned by EA, right? They're still owned by Vanguard or whatever. This deal doesn't go through until like sometime next year. So EA is still there, but they're crossing T's, dotting the I's and stuff like that, right? It says EA became a private company owned by the investors group. EA now carries a $20 billion debt as part of its balance sheet, even though it wasn't there before. Okay, EA's future profits from FIFA, Madden, Apex Legends are expected to cover the debt payments. Okay, so it's very common in a big private equity deals that the catch is that the company's revenues don't keep growing. The debt can weigh them down heavily. So between now and next year, okay, it says like what's going to happen, right? So we'll go to this one, right? We'll go to this right here. This is one of the reasons why people are worried about EA. Employees, studios, gamers, everyone should be worried about this deal because they have to make their money back. And the way they're going to make their money back is that they have to cut costs. And they're going to cut costs by either, okay, firing studio or closing studios down, firing employees, getting rid of IPs that are not going to make money for them, raise the costs of things that you're already paying for, okay? So if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like that, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay, EA, new buyers reportedly hope that AI can be used to cut operating costs and boost profits, just in case that $20 billion debt wasn't already concerning enough. Okay. It says Battlefield, The Sims, Dragon Age owner EA is set to acquire in a $55 billion deal, and although the buyout is being partially financed by a company going $20 billion in debt, investors are apparently hoping that the AI will be able to reduce the operating cost to help manage said debt. So what I can assume here, is that they're going to bring the AI in. They're going to see what the AI can cover, right? So let's say that you're an artist, that you do conceptual art, not even art for the actual game, but you're a concept artist. Out the door, right? Let's say you are a map designer, right? Out the door, because AI could maybe potentially generative AI could make the map for you, right? So there's a lot of stuff that they can just pull out. They don't need it. Someone that does the books, they're like, we don't need you to do the books. AI, right? All of these things will be replaced by AI, right? I don't know if there's specific things. I'm just giving you examples, okay? All these things could be given reasons why they're using AI, and if they use AI, then they don't have to pay someone $20,000 for a contract worker. They don't have to pay $180,000 for an employee. They don't have to pay their benefits. They don't have to pay anything like that. So they cut those people. Gone. Okay. Morning, Wonder Rose. All right. That's according to a report from Financial Times, which writes that according to the individuals involved with the transaction itself, investors are banking on AI-powered cost savings boosting EA's profits going forward. What is unclear is the extension in which AI will be used and what specific purpose. It's not stated, for example, that the technology would also heavily rely on during game development, which would be arguably be the most worrying outcome for multiple reasons. Beyond environmental concerns and the fear of the soulless technology could also replace genuine human creativity, there's also the question of whether or not employee AI could lead to real people losing their jobs. I just read another article. James Cameron came out and said that he's not worried about AI because they're never going to get that point of the creativity that humans have. And I agree with that, but at the same time, I don't agree with that, because what's happening is the AI is learning, okay? The AI is learning. And by the way, this article was written in AI, okay? Article was written in AI. When you see these dashes everywhere, yeah, hey, nobody writes like this, okay? Maybe they used to. But I noticed that a lot. So anyway, when you are teaching the AI based off of things that are already out there, the AI is learning based on what our creativity is. So if you're writing, it's on the internet, the AI is learning based on what you're writing. Okay, if you're making a video game and you say, hey, I want you to make a video game like this, it's going to pull from this as long as this is on the internet, right? If there's videos of this game on the internet, it knows what it's trying to make, it'll make that. So when someone says that genuine human creativity, we've already lost that. How many movies do you see now or video games that are the exact same thing regurgitated over and over and over because there is no creativity, because the people that used to write scripts lived through that or had experience, and the people writing scripts now are just copying other people's scripts, right? There's no difference between a person that's trying to make it in the industry copying someone's work and making it their own, and AI copying everyone's work and making it its own, okay? So when they say that AI could lead to real people losing their jobs, 100%, but you have to look at it. How many people are actually worth it? Because a lot of people are just skating by. A lot of people are just taking other people's work in the arts. Okay, a lot of people are just taking other people's stuff in the arts. Look at Bungie. Bungie literally stole someone else's artwork and tried to pass it off as their own. No creativity. There's zero creativity, and they got caught. Right? Imagine all the people that do it that don't get caught. Okay? Hell, people copy me, other people copy other people, right? There's always someone taking someone, but nobody knows, okay? Because it's impossible for you to understand or follow all the things. But all of a sudden you see something, you're like, that's kind of weird that this person said the exact same thing as this person that said the exact same thing as this person, right? This is why I kind of like doing a live show. I like doing a live show because I'm giving you my thoughts and opinions before basically everybody else comes live and starts making videos and stuff like that when they pre-record stuff, because I'm giving you as is right now, okay? And I could be wrong, I could be right? But then all those people start to say things a couple days down the road. Makes you wonder if they watched other people's stuff that already talked about it, or if they're coming up with it themselves. It says, we know that EA has previously been quite optimistic about use of AI. It was also the only last year that CEO Andrew Wilson stated that AI is in different forms, okay? It was also been central and creative journey before adding, we all remember playing against the AI, and it's evolved into today's innovation of generative AI. This is a remarkable technology. It's not merely a buzzword for us. It's the very core of our business, which should be scary, right? Which should be scary for not only the employees, but for you as a customer, okay? We talked about this with the AI movies. We talked about the Tilly Norwood yesterday, the fake actress that they're trying to push as a real actress. Okay. Like, people are like, oh, I could tell it's AI. You could tell because they told you it's AI. Otherwise, you'd be like, something was off about that. I'm not really sure. Maybe she's a bad actress or something, right? But you wouldn't really know because you would get desensitized to it, right? And that's the problem, okay? As consumers, you're going to get slop. And the slop, you're going to be like, it's okay. I'm having fun, right? Instead of having actual, like, quality stuff for the price that you're paying. Now you're paying more for the product, and it's less stuff going into the actual product. It says concerns had already been raised by those reacting to the acquisition news, but potential layoffs at EA, not potential, there will be layoffs. There will be 100% layoffs happening in this company. Given that the company is taking significant debt, some have also been wondering what the impact is this could have on fan favorite games like Mass Effect, fans fearful for the series. I said this yesterday. I'll be honest. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 is out. Andromeda's out. I don't need another Mass Effect. If I want to play Mass Effect, they're there. The originals are there. Physical copies. You can go play them right now. They have digital. You can get the Legendary Edition, okay, and play that. They're there. I don't need BioWare. Just like I don't need any other company that failed and they closed down, right? I would love a Star Wars Battlefront 3, but guess what? New Radical, is that who made the original Battlefront 3? They closed down. Guess what? No skin off my back. Am I disappointed that Battlefront 3 never got made? Yeah. But I moved on. It doesn't really matter. Okay? I'm okay. If Mass Effect 4 never comes out, I'm okay. Okay? Or Mass Effect 5, whatever it is, I don't give a shit. Okay? The market tells what the market is. Make a good game, put the game out. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then see you later. So it says the series of the future, although it's time of writing this, nothing has been said and it confirms any franchise are being left in the dust. Oh, there will be. I mean, what's the difference? EA has already closed studios and canceled games before this deal went through. Why? You think it's going to change? Do you think something's going to change here? Nothing's going to change. It's going to get worse because the people that are buying it for a shit ton of money, they have to make the money back faster. Well, the only way they can do that is either sell a shit ton of stuff or cut costs and then sell a shit ton of stuff. So for now, all we can do is sit and wait. The deal is currently expected to close first quarter of fiscal year 27. So we have a year and a half basically to wait for this deal to close. Okay? So just put a pin in it, right? Put a pin in it. So customary closing conditions include receipts, required regulatory approvals, and approval of EA stockholders, the company adds. If in a message sent to employees, CEO Wilson insisted that the continued rigor of operational excellence, we can amplify and creativity of our teams, accelerate innovation, and pursue transformative opportunities that position EA to the lead future of entertainment. You know, I just thought of something. Imagine, because the deal, if it goes through in the first quarter of 2027, okay, let's say this Madden doesn't sell very well, and all of a sudden they lose the exclusive rights to the NFL, right? They lose that. Let's say Battlefield 6 comes out and it doesn't hit the 100 million mark that they want to make for the Battle Royale and whatever else. Let's say Mass Effect comes out within the next year and a half. I don't know if it is. Okay. And then that bombs. Okay. If this deal doesn't go through, EA has to pay them money anyway, right? Just like it was doing with Activision, it was like $300 million or $3 billion, whatever the hell it was. I think it was like $3 billion of the $60 billion they would get if the deal didn't go through. So they would pay, regardless, if the deal doesn't go through, a pretty chunk of penny, not $55 billion. But if these things don't happen, like if they lose the NFL license, if this doesn't sell well as much as they did, if, you know, they could just be like, you know what, we're not going through because it looks like you're not doing very well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with EA in the future. But, you know, I was asked, what's the $20 billion debt? What does that mean? So that's what I said before this article, what that is and what's happening here. Look, layoffs are going to happen. Studios are going to close. And franchises will be gone. This happens in every time a company gets taken over. Look at what happened to the big deal that when WB and Discovery merged and stuff like that, and they started canceling things left and right as far as the Batgirl show and all these other things. They just canceled them. Why? Well, that's tax write-offs. They cut the cost there. They can make some money back on certain things. So instead of putting it out there and putting more money on top of it for the advertisement, the marketing, and all this other stuff, they're like, you know what? We'll just cancel it, get a tax write-off. That'll bring down our debt a little bit, and so on and so forth, right? This happens all the time when companies get taken over. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think? What's going to happen with EA and with the AI that's coming in, because they are going to be using AI? Do you think it's going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Do you think it's going to be more devastating for the employees or for the gamers itself? Obviously, I think it's the employees. The employees will get a lot of people are going to lose their job, but a lot of people are losing their jobs already because of the bubble that burst from COVID a couple of years ago. This number couldn't always go up, so they have to get rid of the thing to make this number still go up. So again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Sarge says, safe bets, bro. Got to be safe for that cash. 5 times. Yeah, they did get caught 5 times. Bungie got caught 5 times. Actually, I think it was more than 5 times, wasn't it? Sarge is optimistic. No, they're way more optimistic. They also are foaming at the mouth about how much more money they could also do about to make and how much less the payroll they're about to save. Roic says it all started when they didn't tell us what the 3 seashells were there for. El Nini says, oh, I missed it. 30 says, if they announce a new Mass Effect, you can't tell me you wouldn't be intrigued. I wouldn't be intrigued. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be intrigued. EA has to prove to me they can make a game. Andromeda, I didn't hate, but it wasn't Mass Effect. Okay? Anthem, not very good. Okay? They've made other games that EA has come out with that have not been good. They have to prove to me, El Nini, before I get intrigued. Right? You might be intrigued. I am no longer intrigued by a lot of stuff. I look at it and go, okay. Right? Now, if a new game comes out that doesn't have a franchise from a new company, I look at it and go, well, that looks interesting. I'll give that a shot. But stuff that comes out from EA or Activision or all this other stuff, I'm like, they got to prove to me. Right? Cyberpunk 2077 came out. Burn the bridge with me. I have the game. I have not purchased, or I'm sorry, I have not bought the game or played the game. I was gifted the game. It was a free gift to me. I have yet to put it in the machine and log in. Everyone tells me it's a fantastic game. I should play it. I should play it. I should play it. They don't get my time because they shat on my time when they came out with the game after they made fun of Fallout 76. We're not going to come out with a game as bad as that. And they did exactly that. And then 3 years later, they fixed it. And now Witcher 4 comes out. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be like, oh my God, Witcher 4. No, I'm going to wait to see what Witcher 4 is before I get intrigued and before I get excited about it. But that's me, right? Sarge says it's too late to buy in. The price of adjustment happens after the announcement. People just sit and hold, or the stock trading is halted also, depending on the deal. Twitter is going to be very entertaining today. Why? What's happening on Twitter today? Robert Jones says, outside of Battlefield, I literally don't care about EA. You're not intrigued, Jones? You're not intrigued? Between and I'm not even getting Battlefield 6, I think the only thing I'm excited for is if they announce the Battlefront 3 and maybe the Last Jedi Survivor or whatever the Survivor series. But I won't buy that day one. I like the first one. I like the second one. If they make a third one, cool. If they don't, cool as well. Let's see here. Robert Jones says employees are definitely being cut. 100%. If they don't think they're being cut, they're so naive. Titan says EA published Split Fiction. What's the dev's name? I forget that. Joseph something is the head of that studio. I forget what the studio's name is. Fantastic game. But that's EA published, not EA made, right? The guy literally told EA to go fuck themselves. That's a win in my book. He literally said, fuck you, EA. Right? They gave him money. He told them to fuck off, and they made another game. That is fantastic. Joseph, I forget what his last name is. That man has got cojones. Hazelight Studios. That's it. Hazelight Studios. Kylo says Game Pass price increase is you missed it. Oh, did they announce something? Did they raise the price of Game Pass? Is that what you're saying? Here it is. See, that's why I like doing a live show, right? I'm doing a live show. I'm not following the news as we go. You guys say something, and I'm like, all right, let me look at it, right? Xbox raising Game Pass Ultimate price by 50% and changing tier features. Oh, well, this is interesting. This was on the docket today, right? Well, there you go. There you go. Right? We said it was going to happen. Make the problem, sell the solution, right? 50%. $30. We've had this conversation. Okay, multiple times. What is that tier? I said $25. I said $25. I was at $30. I would have to think about it. I got to think about it. $30. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. So let's read. All right. Let's read. Xbox raising Game Pass Ultimate price by 50% and changing the tier features. Man, let me tell you something. Before I even read this, first of all, I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. We break news pretty fast. Not very many people are live talking about concurring stuff going on as we're talking about it. All right. So if you like it, hit that like button. This is tough. This is tough. I'm going to have to sit down with my son and we might have a conversation. Okay. Because 50% increase. 50%. Microsoft has lost its effing mind. But we knew it was coming. So Xbox raising Game Pass Ultimate price by 50% and changing the tier features. Microsoft is making more large-scale changes to Xbox Game Pass, including price increase and tier changes that include the removal of current plans. Current plans? Is that right? For God's sakes. Did someone write this or did AI write this? It's the tariffs. It is the tariffs house. Yeah. Right? In an announcement on Wednesday, Microsoft revealed it was making changes to the available plans it names, pricing, and features. Moving forward, Xbox Game Pass will have an Essential Premium. Oh, they're changing it. An Essential Premium. And Ultimate plans. Going away are Xbox Game Pass Core and Xbox Game Pass Standard plans. Do you see, chat, what they do? They condition you for what it is. They give you things until you rely on it. They don't make physical copies. They give you digital copies. They don't want to give you $60 games. They make them $70. You don't like $70? You get Game Pass. You get Game Pass for $12, for $15, for $20. You don't like $80 games? Well, I'll tell you what. You don't want to pay $700, $800 for your video game system, but you can play on your TV set? Guess what? We're raising the price. Right? They condition you over and over and over. Okay? They get you in. There's a drug dealer. Right? They give you the free. Here's a free sample. No. Here, take it. Take the first one for free. Here's that $1. Here's that 3 months for free when you buy the controller or when you get the game. Get them in. And then screw them. Okay? So going away from our Xbox Game Pass Core and Xbox Game Pass Standard, today Game Pass Core subscribers will automatically move to the Essential. Standard subscribers will transition to Premium, and Ultimate subscribers will remain at the Ultimate plan. Oh, that's so nice of them, right? Right? So if you're lower tier, so just remember, if you were the mid-tier, you had, what was it, Gold? Gold got turned into Game Pass Core. Now Game Pass Core is being upgraded to Essential. So you went from paying like, I think it was like $7, $10, whatever it was. Now all of a sudden you're paying $15 and you get the exact same shit that you had before. Okay. As far as pricing goes, Xbox Game Pass Essential and Game Pass Premium will remain at $10 and $15 respectively per month. Game Pass Ultimate, however, is seeing a price increase of 50% from $20 to $30 per month. For those on PC Game Pass, that is going up in price from $11.99 to $16.49 per month. Okay, they really value their customers on the console. Okay, really value, right? So Game Pass, let's make it more confusing. Here it is: unbelievable games, unparalleled access, unbeatable benefits. Okay, so the Essential, you get 50 games now playable on PC, console, and cloud. Unlimited cloud gaming, in-game benefits including Riot Games, online console multiplayer, and play and earn up to $25 a year in store with rewards. Oh, wow. We raised it. You get $25. Okay, premium, 200 plus games now playable on PC, console, and cloud, $15 a month. New Xbox published games within a year of launch. Unlimited cloud gaming with shorter wait times. In-game benefits including Riot Games, online console multiplayer, and play and earn up to $50 a year in store with rewards. And $50 means they're giving you a microtransaction cosmetic skin for like Sea of Thieves that they would charge $10 for, right? That's what that means, by the way. Ultimate, 400 plus games playable on PC, console, and cloud for $30 a month. $75 plus day one games a year. 75 plus day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one. Ubisoft plus Classic and EA Play included with your Fortnite crew coming in November. Oh boy. Let me tell you something. Here's the word that just sold it for me. Are you ready for this, guys? Because I said $25 would probably be my limit. $30, I would have to think about it. Do you see what they just did there? Let me see if you guys are smart enough. Remember, I have an 11-year-old kid. Okay. What part of this sentence sold it for me? Okay. Ubisoft plus Classic and EA Play included with Fortnite crew coming in November. So my son, right? Because I'm very open with you guys. I'm very open, right? My son, I said, if you get straight A's, okay, because he asked for Fortnite crew, okay? He asked for Fortnite crew, and I said, if you get straight A's, okay, I will pay for Fortnite crew for you, okay? Well, here you go. So now I'm paying separate, right? I'll be paying. He hasn't got his report card yet, okay? He hasn't got his report card yet, so I'm still off the hook. But now if he brings his report card home, right, and he shows he has straight A's, there's the $10 I was going to spend on Fortnite, and I already have Game Pass, but now I don't have to pay for Fortnite, and I have it in part of Game Pass. So there's a thought process, right? So now I really got to sit back and think about it. Okay, so unlimited cloud gaming and our best quality with the shortest wait times, in-game benefits, including for Riot Games. I don't give a shit about Riot Games, I'll be honest with you. Online console multiplayer and play it, earn up to $100 a year in store with rewards. Jesus Christ, they skipped it. They went from 20 to 30. They skipped the 25. They said, screw that. What if you don't play Fortnite, though? That doesn't mean anything. Oh, I get it, Zinthos. I'm not talking about everybody else. I'm talking about me, right? What about if you don't play EA Play? What about if you don't use Ubisoft Plus? What about if you don't use cloud? I mean, you could take what you just said there, okay, and say that for anything. Robert Jones says 30's Game Pass subscription is now not dependent on his son's grades. Yeah, it is now. Yeah, now dependent. Yeah, because I was going to pay $10 a month for him on Fortnite because he wants the crew stuff, right? And I was like, if you get straight A's, you know what we do as parents. You're like, oh, you want that expensive thing? Well, you got to do something for me, right? Well, here's the thing, El Nini. If I cancel it for myself, I still have to pay for my son. And you're right. Maybe I'll cancel Game Pass and then just pay the $10 for Fortnite. Right? You get everything in Fortnite, Rocket League every month. Oh, yeah, you get all the stuff for the music, for the rock band, for the rocket, for the stuff, yeah. But you know what's going to happen there, Eclipse, right? We understand what's going to happen there. Fortnite Crew will raise the price of that as well. We know this is coming, right? Right? Yeah, because I don't play Ubisoft games. And the only Ubisoft game I do play was Division 2. And I bought that straight up. It says Xbox Game Pass features changes. One positive of the changes for everyone in the Xbox Cloud Gaming will be available on all tiers. As far as the updates to Game Pass Ultimate, well, let's go back to this, right? The Cloud Gaming also gets you... Remember what I said, guys? I'm one of the few, maybe the only person that said Cloud Gaming will be the dominant one 6 to 7 years ago. And that was 1 year ago. 1.5 years ago? Okay. And everyone said I'm crazy. And I said 6 to 7 years, cloud will be the majority. Right? I'll still take that bet. Okay? Because now they're pushing everyone over to cloud. And as they push people over to cloud, cloud gets faster and better and more expensive. But that's what they're doing. Okay? So Microsoft says there will be a over 75-day 1 games per year for subscribers, as well as the addition of Ubisoft Plus Classics and Fortnite Crew. Usually $11.99 per month will also be included with the Ultimate subscription. PC Game Pass members will also get Ubisoft Plus Classic access. For Essential members, in addition to the cloud gaming access, Microsoft is expanding the library of games available to over 50 games, including PC and cloud. Premium members get access to over 200 games, with new Xbox first-party titles coming within a year of launch. The announcement changes of Xbox Game Pass comes just weeks after Microsoft revealed that it was once again raising the price of Xbox console. Since the Xbox Series X/S released in 2020, those systems have gone up 30 to 33% in price. So what do you think of the changes of Xbox Game Pass? Let us know in the comments below. I'm not happy about it. I'm definitely not happy about it. 50%. And look, do you know why they went 50% on Ultimate, right? We did the math, I want to say last year sometime. They never actually shared the numbers, but we projected, me and Sarge talked about on GXG, out of the 25, this is like over 2 years ago, I guess, because the last number we knew was like 25 million, which was from the FTC report that said there was like 25 million subscribers for Game Pass. And this was like 2 years ago, maybe 2+ years ago. We said that there was majority of people that were on Game Pass were with Ultimate. Okay, if that was with PC or if that was with Xbox or like the console. And so there was like 15 million on Ultimate here, and then there was like 10 million on whatever, right? So it was like 25, it was like 20 million of the 35 million people that had Game Pass were on Ultimate. And this just kind of proves it a little bit more, because they know that the people that are on Ultimate, they're hooked and they're trying to make the value. This is just like Ubisoft when they show like the Star Wars Outlaws or Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they give you the columns and like, this is the best value. Obviously, they're giving 50 games here, 200 games here, and 400 games here. They're doubling it. But they're also giving you EA Play included, right? They're giving you Ubisoft Plus. Who knows what happens with EA Play now with the other guys buying it out, if they change the premise of it. So we'll see what happens as that goes. But they know that the majority of the people that are playing on Game Pass right now are Ultimate members, right? They're already hindered, or they already conditioned to like what they're playing. And they're like, oh, this is a great deal, right? Because if you still think about it, if it's $30 a month, that's $360 a year for Game Pass. Okay, just bare bone. Let's not talk about Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, or the Fortnite Crew. Okay, just $360. The average game now is $70 to $80. The average gamer buys 3 to 5 games a year. Well, 7 times 5 is 350, right? So if you buy 5 games at $70 this year, AAA games, right? Or high-end games, you're $10 less than getting 400 games. Obviously, all 400 games are not brand new, but 75 plus day one games a year are coming out. That's 75 games that are coming out per year that are new, day one, third party, first party, okay? That's way more than 5. So justification is that it's still a good deal. $30 a month, though, just like EA is going to lay off some people, someone's got to go. If I keep, because now I'm spending an additional $10 a month, okay? So either Netflix is going, right? Hulu is going, right? If I keep this goes, right? Because I ain't paying for this and this and this and this and this. The most value that I have, because I don't have time a lot to watch Netflix. I don't have a lot of time to watch the other things that we have. We still have Disney Plus, but that ends real soon. Okay, I think we have 4 months left because we paid like 2 years in advance. Okay, once that comes, that's done. Okay, it was like a package deal. So that's done, right? So we still have Hulu and all that other stuff, right? I think comes February. I think February, that's it, right? So because this is going up, when does it go up? When does it say when it actually, is it in effect now? Is it today? Next month? Starts the year? I think you're locked in 30 for Game Pass. I'm not going to deny it. I would say, yeah, like I said, if I have to pay $10 to Epic on top of the $30 here, it's kind of stupid, right? I'll save money by just keeping with Game Pass and not paying Epic directly. If I'm going to pay $10 here and still have Game Pass, I might as well not pay them at all and just have it there. Fine print's too small. Yeah, I don't know if we can we read that? Here, let's open up in a new tab. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 coming soon. Xbox Game Pass varies over time by region, device, and plan. Okay. Xbox.com/Game Pass benefits. Benefits vary by plan. For details on partner subscriptions include Game Pass Ultimate. Okay. In-game benefits vary by game, region, and over time. Games must be installed to access in-game benefits. Xbox Cloud Gaming requires Game Pass subscription to a support device, both sold separately. Cloud Gaming Library varies at xbox.com/play. Cloud playable games not included with Game Pass are sold separately and may be made available on Game Pass in the future. Play directly on the Xbox console or stream with Xbox app at xbox.com/play and support devices. Select region. The devices also Xbox devices. Rewards, terms apply. Microsoft account required. Select market only. So this actually goes into our next story because there's this one, right? Which we were going to talk about before the Game Pass shit just happened. Travis says 30, between this and no Wolverine, it's time to join us on PlayStation 5. The fuck would I pay $700 for a system for, Travis? Why would I buy a $700 system? I'll just wait for their games to come to PC. Altern says, damn, but $30 a month, that's a lot. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, no date, so we don't know when it goes live. But here's the thing that people were freaking out about, right? This has never bothered me because I'm not playing the game of grinding Bing rewards where I have to log in every day and do the search bar and do this. And if you do this search, you get 5 points here and 10 points there and all this other stuff. I just play my games and I get points for crew. Like right now, I can, I think I have 30, or I can get $30 worth of points for just getting achievements done and whatever else. Right? So it says this deal is getting worse all the time. Xbox fans upset at the latest Microsoft Rewards nerf with points no longer directly redeemable for Game Pass subscription. Make the problem, sell the solution. Do you see? It always comes back down to what I've always said, right? Make a game, sell a game. Make a problem, right? Sell the solution. There it is, right? Oh, why aren't they letting you use your points anymore for Game Pass subscriptions? Because they're making the problem. The problem is we're raising it up to $30, and we don't want you skimping out on getting that free points that you get from the thing that no one uses, our actual web browser. Okay, no one uses Bing. And because you're using Bing, and the only people that are using Bing are people getting points, and because they're getting points, we're losing out on money. So we need to make a problem. The problem is it's going up to $30, and you can't get Game Pass for free anymore by doing exactly what we said you could do. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning, okay, from noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay, the deal is getting worse all the time, and Xbox fans upset in the latest Microsoft reward nerf with points no longer directly redeemable for Game Pass subscription. Okay, Xbox fans are upset at the latest change, but little did they know that Game Pass was raising prices. Okay, upset at Microsoft Rewards, which removes the ability to directly redeem points for Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. This isn't the first time that Microsoft has made changes in reward schemes that have also been perceived as making it less lucrative for hardcore fans. But the company's latest update, live as today, October 1st, has left many Xbox Game Pass users facing the reality that will no longer be able to subsidize their subscription. Okay. It says, starting October 1st, users will no longer be able to directly redeem reward points for Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. I used to always just get the gift card, right? I would get the gift card, and then I would take that gift card, and I can use it for anything, right? I could use it for Game Pass. I could use it for a new game. I could use it for DLC. I always get the gift cards myself, so I never put it towards Game Pass itself. The company wrote in an update to users will also need to redeem points for Xbox gift cards to cover the cost of Game Pass subscription. Oh, and by the way, people right now are buying Game Pass cards for 3 months. Like, they're going to the store. They're driving right now as we speak. Slow down if you're in the car, okay? They're going to Walmart and buying all the Game Pass cards for, the $10, $15, whatever it is, and they're inserting the cards in there so they can get the next, 5 years for free, so they don't have to pay $30 a month. Or $30 a month. Okay. Requiring users to redeem an Xbox gift card for Xbox Game Pass adds an extra step and also raises the point threshold at which a month of Game Pass Ultimate can be unlocked, suddenly making it more difficult for users to regularly swap points for extra months on subscription. So it begins, wrote Xbox fan GTA JJ. He says, quote, I suspect that the loss leading phase is coming to a close and consumers will need to start paying accurately. This will be an interesting limited test of how many Game Pass subscribers are organic and not out of good deals. It also tests the service to see if consumers will wish to enroll. I think he's 100% correct here, but he's also, how many people are addicted? How many people are now maybe been on Game Pass for, let's say, a year. Maybe they bought, or not even bought. They didn't buy, let's say, Minecraft, right? They didn't buy Minecraft Dungeons. They didn't buy Starfield. They didn't buy Indiana Jones, but they did buy the DLC for Minecraft Dungeons. They did buy the DLC for Starfield. They did buy the DLC for Indiana Jones, right? So now they own the DLCs, but they don't own the games. So now the people either have to come back and buy the games if they want to play their DLC that they purchased, or they're going to have to keep paying for the Ultimate Edition, right? Or they buy the games to pay for that, right? So those are the two options now. Either keep paying to play the stuff that's new coming out or the stuff that you already purchased if you like playing those. Those are just 3 examples, by the way, okay? Or buy the game on top of what you already paid for, right, for the DLC. So that'll be really interesting to see how many people are like in this ecosystem now. They're like, oh, you know what? It's just so good. I could play the games everywhere. I could play it in the car. I wonder how many people are like myself, right? They're playing the long game. They're playing the kids, not the adults, right? Because I'll be honest, I've been playing Helldivers, right? I haven't played anything else in the last month. Okay, if I didn't have a kid that was playing Forza Horizon, and then he was playing what other game? He's playing Skate, and he plays like 5-6 games a day, right? If I didn't have a son, I would cut that shit off because I bought Helldivers and I have like 140 hours in the game, and I don't need to keep paying a monthly subscription. But now you throw in my son into the mix, right? And I can sit him down and be like, look, we're not going to pay for this anymore. So you have to be very selective of what game you want to play. Okay? So like when I was a kid, we could rent games. I don't know how you could rent games now. I guess I could get, I don't know. I don't even know where, can you rent? Is GameFly still a thing? Right? You still got to pay a monthly fee or whatever for that. But sit them down and be like, look, this is what's happening. They raised the price and I just can't afford it anymore. Stuff like that, right? It is what it is. But I wonder how many people are like that. How many people have kids that they are addicted or they are conditioned with live service stuff? If it's EA Play, if it's Ubisoft, if it's Game Pass, if it's PlayStation Plus, where all of a sudden you would just pull that away and your kids would be like, is it worth it for the adults? Now, my son's pretty smart. I talk to him like he's an adult. I don't talk to him like he's a child. So he'll probably understand if I decide not to do that. And maybe I get rid of Game Pass, but then I give him Fortnite monthly for the crew. But I wonder how many other parents are like that, where they don't use it, but their kids destroy it, right? They're using it constantly. It says, yep, added RIP to gaming rewards program. First, the gold coins got nerfed from Nintendo. Then PlayStation Star program scrapped. Now this. That is a perfect example of what I say, that Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox are all in the same. They're not enemies. We make it sound like there's PlayStation fanboys and Xbox fanboys, and they're fighting like a team. No, they're all on the same team. Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation or Sony are all on the same team. They're the industry leaders. They decide what's happening in the industry, and if one does it, the other does it, because that's the way it works. Okay. Another response with hundreds of likes simply features the GIF of Lando in The Empire Strikes Back infamous line, the deal is getting worse all the time. Yes, exactly right. Okay. So while Microsoft Rewards itself is not ending today, change has clearly struck a chord with the users. Don't worry. See, here's also the 1-2 punch. This is what we do here, right? The 1-2 punch is, here's a bad thing, which is you can't get reward points anymore. But here's the worst thing, which is you're paying 50% more for Ultimate. Guess what? People are now pissed at this, and they don't give a shit about the reward points anymore. Okay? One fan posted an image of the subscription status renewed until July of next year, having only paid their introductory $1 back in September of 2020. That's nice. Microsoft introductory $1 offer has also long since been nerfed. What looks like the money run for the Game Pass has come to an end, added another user. It says today's news comes just days after Microsoft's latest Xbox console price hike in the U.S., which increased the price of Xbox Series S and X once for the second time this year. Microsoft has so far resisted to the urge of increased Xbox Game Pass subscription prices. Again, though earning better margins of software has clearly been discussed, has been the company's now paused decision to start charging $80 for its games. Make a problem, so the solution, $80 price tag. Well, guess what? The solution is come to Game Pass. Oh, by the way, a lot of people are coming to Game Pass. Ta-da! We're going to raise the price. This summer, Microsoft Gaming Division was hit hard by layoffs as part of the company's wide restriction of headcount. Perfect Dark and Everwild were canned. Developer initiative was shut down. And the several third-party projects had also their funding pulled in a bid to cut costs and improve margins. So there you go. Lots of stuff this morning, huh? Price keep going up. You got to do the corporate salute. Right? If the money's not going up, then they're not doing it right. So there you go. We got not only the reward things going out the door, we now have Game Pass prices going up. 50% is fucking absurd. See, now think about this. We were talking about how absurd it was that they raised the price 5 years after. Not only once, but twice. They've raised the price of their consoles twice in the last 5 months. May, right? And then last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And then here we are. Now they're getting rid of the rewards and then raising the price of Game Pass. We knew it was coming. We just didn't think it was coming this year. We still don't know if it's coming this year because there is no date on when this is happening. There's no date when this has happened. Maybe they'll make it clear. Maybe you guys saw something else. So we'll see. DD Frank says, I'm stacked until September 2026 Ultimate. Good for you. Yeah, it's good. A lot of people are going to do that, which is, they know they're going to do that. So they'll get the price there. In the States, the highest tier is $17.99 a month or $13.33 per month if you buy a year at $159. Right now, Jones, if you buy it, Mr. Luke says they are all team money. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Crowd says, yep, just like the politics, no matter what side you are on, the politics are all a behold of their donors first and the people come last. Z says, thanks, Mike. I almost forgot to cancel my subscription coming up for the sub service. I've also been playing too much on Steam. There you go. Yeah, if you're not using it, don't pay for it, right? We use Game Pass all the time. If I'm not using it, my son's using it, right? Like, we're not, the only reason we have Amazon Prime is because we pay for the packages. My wife orders, maybe someone can understand where I'm coming from, right? Your wife or girlfriend or whatever else is constantly ordering shit. You pay the fee for Prime on Amazon, and it comes with the video program, right? If you want to get the non-commercial version, now you got to pay more. But if you get the commercial version, it comes with the package thing, okay? Netflix is raising their price. They've gone up multiple times. I forget how much Netflix is now. Okay, we haven't watched Netflix in a while. I think we watched one show maybe like a month ago. That's not worth it. Right? You got to go back and look at what you're not using. The thing I get the most money for is YouTube Premium. I don't get ads on anything I watch. I use YouTube all the time. Okay? But they're raising their prices for that as well. Right? It's because of tariffs. Titan says it's cheaper to get Game Pass from points than just Xbox gift cards before, I'm guessing. I'm not clear on that. We were talking PSN subscription. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the PSN subscription, $17.99. Gotcha. I sent you a video of a guy trying to help promote, so you might want to see if you want to have a chat with him. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, I would have canceled Prime if adding commercials, but we use shipping a lot. Yeah, they get you, right? And they keep raising that price up, Jones, and you kind of just, you're shit out of luck because they condition you. It's the way it goes. All right, so we got that. We got the Black Ops thing, and we got that. All right, so let's go with the Black Ops thing. I don't know what this Black Ops thing. I'm not a big Call of Duty guy anymore. I do miss doing the show. Yeah, chatting with. Yeah. Can we just go back to $60 a year with Xbox Live Gold? Seriously. Like, seriously. Think about it. That's crazy how much has changed, right? Robert Jones says, frogs are being boiled every day, all the time. That's right. We are the frogs. That's actually, I got to write that down. That's a good thing to put in a song. Okay. It's a good thing to put in a song. All right. Let's go to the next thing, which is Call of Duty. Everyone's favorite thing to bitch about now, because not that Call of Duty has been in the shitter for the last couple of years, but everyone's just realizing it today for some reason because of Battlefield 6. See, there wasn't anything there for people to go to, so they kind of just stayed quiet, and they were the problems. And then all of a sudden now, they're like, oh, we have another game to play that's like Call of Duty. Fuck you, Call of Duty. We don't need you. And they're uprising now, which I think is kind of funny because the problem with Call of Duty is the people that are leaving Call of Duty. The people that made Call of Duty the way it is are the people that are leaving Call of Duty now. They can't see that they're the problem, but they're the problem. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So COD Black Ops 7 wallhack Killstreak is receiving a frenzy of criticism. But isn't the point of Killstreaks that they are unfair? I mean, yeah, but what makes this different? I don't know. I haven't read the article, so. The sniper rifle has thermal scope and can now shoot through cover. Oh, so it's like Battlefield 6 when people were using the cheat where they're shooting through rocks and doors and shit. That's okay. It says a clip from Tuesday's Call of Duty Black Ops 7 event has gone mildly viral, and it's attracting the onlookers, and it seems that they feel like Call of Duty has this time gone too far with the wacky gadgets and guns. Hold on a second. They're complaining about the one kill streak and go through walls. Meanwhile, you've been inundated with cheaters in this game for I don't know how long. I've lost count. They even stopped caring, okay, about hackers in the game. And now they decided to put the hack in the game. And now people are like, you got too far. Now you just don't know if they're cheating or if it's a person that got a kill streak. Okay. So the clip embedded above shows Call of Duty Pro Simp using one of Blops 7's new killstreak rewards, the Gravemaker, a sniper rifle whose wielder can see a snipe through solid walls. Then go-to joke is that Activision has given up on combating cheaters and decided to just put wall hacks in the game. Well, there you go. That's exactly right. Right? There was already cheaters in the game doing exactly what this thing does. So instead, they literally just put it in the game as a kill streak, so now everyone can feel like a cheater. Okay, he says I solo get indigestion because it doesn't look fun to be on the receiving end of a. It's never good when you're on the receiving end of a kill streak. Okay, was fired through 2 layers of concrete by someone who also never could have seen it, but also sort of I don't get it because aren't Call of Duty kill streaks like that? Well, let's see this thing. I haven't seen it.
Rainmaker. Hey, if not going to sell me, just let me go.
So I have a question now. I have a question now. If you're allowed to do this in the game, can you be banned for doing this? So if you're cheating, you can do this all the time, but yet you can do this because you get the kill streak. I get it. One's different. One, you earned the ability to do this, and the other one, people bought the ability to do this, right? It's 9 shots, but can you bitch about this when this is already happening in your game? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I agree this is stupid, but I don't play Call of Duty.
It's insane. I don't know what I'm using now.
What do you need for the kill streak to get that? What do you need for the kill streak to get that? I'm sure it'll say in the article. Let's see. Since I sort of already read that part, it says, how is this less fair than someone calling an attack helicopter or carpet bombing after the map? In some of these games, you can also call in a tactical nuke, a nuclear bomb. Thanks for telling us what that is. Tactical nuke, a nuclear bomb. I think people that play the game understand that. Granted, in specific posts we've shared a direct at the pro scenes, GA refers to gentleman's agreement not to use certain guns and abilities also have been deemed harmful to competitive play, and maybe this is something that pros will balk at. Yeah, but I don't get it. This goes up. This is gone above and beyond, right? They're like, oh, you can't use the attack helicopter because you can see me down below and I can't shoot you. Like, where do you draw that line? You've lost the line. Call of Duty fans have lost the line. Okay, they lost the line because they let cheating happen for years and years inside the game. They lost the line because they let the cosmetics take over the game. They lost the line when they put Black Ops in there, and they've completely lost what Call of Duty was, the identity of Call of Duty. And just now they're speaking up about it. Okay, it says, I do agree that the kill streak and the score streak are annoying in general. I liked them way back in the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That's like 2007. Okay, they were novel, and there's only a few of them to deal with. But these days, I welcome streak-free playlist. Imagine playing a game that made famous because of kill streaks, but you're playing a non-kill streak playlist. Amazing. where I don't have to be bullied by exceptional players who spend a quarter of the match shooting me from a helicopter. It says the response here is probably more about the vibes than anything. A wallhack sniper rifle is yet another prompt for the Call of Duty fatigue to declare that it's also throwing in with the Battlefield crowd this year. The EA has smartly been playing up the idea of Battlefield 6 offers more grounded take on Modern Warfare. The funny part I see here, right? We'll talk about this a little bit here, right? The response here is probably more about the vibes. I think this is just more shit on top of the shit. You know what I'm talking about, chat? Like, you ever have a coworker you worked with? I haven't had a job like this in fucking almost 3 decades, right? But you ever have a coworker where you really didn't like them, right? Or maybe you didn't like a boss, right? It's a coworker, right? You didn't like a boss. And you wanted to say something, but you don't say anything, right? But then all of a sudden, one of the other employees says, God, I don't like that guy, right? And you feel like that's like an invitation of, oh my God, I don't like him either, right? And then you start shit talking, and this person starts shit talking, and then someone else hears you shit talking, and then they join in on the shit talking, and now you're all piling on because you really don't like this person, right? You're like bad manager, whatever. You don't like the organization you're at. This is what's happening with Call of Duty right now, right? Call of Duty fundamentally was a problem with the identity, putting all the cosmetics in, too many game modes, losing its identity completely, okay? And everyone was okay with it until everyone was okay with it, but they weren't okay with it. They were playing because it was the thing to do. It was Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the Apple, right? It was the iPhone. You have to have the phone because you're cool, right? I literally had breakfast the other day, and someone said to me, I have a PlayStation. He's like, I have to have Call of Duty. It's a thing, right? He's joking with me, but that's exactly what it is. It's like a status symbol. It's like, oh yeah, you have Call of Duty? Of course I have Call of Duty, right? That's why so many people have Call of Duty on PlayStation. It's like a automatic. You have a PlayStation, you get a Call of Duty, okay? So I feel like right now, because Call of Duty, people started talking shit about it, everyone thought it was an invitation to crap on Call of Duty because now it's the cool thing to talk about Call of Duty, even though the people that have played Call of Duty all these years have never played a Battlefield. Yes, there's crossover, but you know what I'm talking about. The people that are playing Call of Duty are not Battlefield fans. The people that play Battlefield are not Call of Duty fans. There is a line that goes back and forth, but there's way more people that play Call of Duty than Battlefield, okay? And these people weren't coming over to Battlefield before, but now Battlefield is being blurred to make it look like it's for Call of Duty players. So they think that's an invitation to talk shit about Call of Duty, and they're all getting on top. But these people are going to come right back to Call of Duty. The reason Call of Duty is in the state that it's in is because the people that play Call of Duty made it this way. Okay? Not the developers, the players. Okay? It says, I don't think Battlefield has ever been something I call grounded, but Call of Duty got so loaded up with the live service cruff of goofy-ass crossover skins that it hasn't hard a reputation battle for EA to win. It's just had to not give Beavis and Butthead starting roles in Battlefield 6. Activision has started to change its tune of premium skins, but for the near future, I don't know what is too much to hope for escaping the narrative of Call of Duty Jump the Shark. It's cool to hate it, right? It's cool to hate it right now. So as Morgan just pointed out, it doesn't help that Black Ops 7 hasn't blown us away so far. I remain a sucker for Call of Duty's particular style of shooting, so I'll check it out. But I doubt it'll be good enough to ever earn the fancy sniper rifle. If I do, I'll guarantee some kid will bound around the corner and no-scope me before I even get a chance to look down the thermal sight. So you don't have to worry about OP kill streaks from me, at least. Okay? I don't think this is a big deal, but then again, I don't play Call of Duty. I think this is just one more step past ridiculousness of what Call of Duty is and what it has turned into. So I don't think this is the line that people need to draw the line and go, well, this has gone a bridge too far. It's like, no, there's been way other stuff in this game to say it's gone too far, and to say that this is it, this is the peak. I think this is just people piling on and just trying to hate everything they do now because it's cool to hate Call of Duty right now. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think? Do you think that this wall hack that they've put in the game is a bridge too far? Do you think this is it? Or do you think that this will be vanished in 2 seconds because as soon as people get it, they'll be like, oh, this is so good, right? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Charles Hawk said, could buy a Series S with the amount of the year to pay for Game Pass. Yeah. You could also buy a Series S and pay for the year and have 400 plus games to play instead of buying a $700 console and buying one game to play for the year. Roadkill says, what's going on? Call of Duty is so fucked. I turn it on in the morning and I play for like 30 seconds and I turn it off. What's going on, Roadkill? World says this isn't normally a perk that stops you from appearing in the on Killstreaks or radar. Isn't there normally a perk that stops you from appearing on Killstreaks and radar? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it. That sounds pretty OP too, right? Worlds? Why isn't that anyone bitching about that, right? Titan says cold-blooded perk from the article. Ron says, if COD is so bad, why does it keep selling? That's exactly right, Ron. Roadkill says the Game Pass has raised its prices. Yeah, we talked about it. If you want to pause here, rewind, I went into a whole conversation about it. Jason says 30 new gameplay trailer for Daredevil Rivals just got put out. All right, we'll check that out. I played both. Yeah, Kylo, I understand that. But you're in the small percentage, right? Again, 30 million people play Call of Duty. 7 million people play Battlefield. Just saying. You're allowed to play both. I'm saying the majority of the people that play Call of Duty do not play Battlefield. Roadkill says, buying a Series S is the dumbest thing you could probably do. They already have trouble running games at 60 frames. Why would you even buy a Series S? Because you can't afford a $700 system. That's why, Roadkill. See you earlier. Kind of dumb they complain about the wallhack, Killstreak, and then the UAV and the Blackbird exist. Yeah. Roic says the same reason that Madden sells. It's just a staple game at this point. Titan says, Roadkill, parents see prices. Yeah. If my son or daughter want a video game system, and now I can't afford a PlayStation 5 or 5 Pro or Series X, guess what I'm buying? I'm either buying a Nintendo Switch 2 or I'm getting an Xbox Series S. Cosmic Invasion demo is available on Steam now. Ooh, nice. If you can afford a $300 system, just wait another 2 months, and you can afford the $700. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. Roadkill, do you have kids? Do you have kids? It doesn't sound like it. If you think you can save that much money when you're having kids, you don't have kids. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll probably download that after stream. Why wouldn't you get a PlayStation 5 refurbished? Most likely because people don't like buying used things like that because they don't know, even though when you go somewhere and they're like, oh yeah, they checked it out and whatnot, and there's like a 30-day warranty or 60-day warranty from like GameStop and stuff like that, they would rather buy something new instead of going through refurbish and then having a hassle of it later. All right, so there's that. Let me bring up. Yeah, people are texting me about the Game Pass thing. Like, did you see this? Did you see this? I'm assuming parents to be the majority of the buyers. 100%. Let's see. Daredevil. Is this it right here? Yeah, okay.
Forgive me for what I am about to do. I see you. You've been judged. Face the devil. Wrath of the beast.
I think it looks cool.
Hellfire. On the hunt.
Waterbear, they raised the price by 50% for Ultimate. It's $30 a month now. $30 a month for Game Pass.
Let the devil out! Ruthlessness is mercy.
Well, there you go. There's Daredevil's new stuff. Yeah, we talked about it for years, Water, right? For like, what would it go up to? 35 or 25, 30? We said we wouldn't go up to 30 so fast, right? And we're like, would we stop at 25? We go back like last month, we talked about this, right? Top Gun Zero says, as of October 3rd, tell me what the better value is. PlayStation 5 digital or Xbox Series S? The value is for whatever you prefer, right? So if you already own PlayStation games, if you're coming in new into gaming, Top Gun Zero, right? If you're coming in brand new and you want the most bang for your buck, you get the Series S and Game Pass, right? Even if you got the lowest tier of Game Pass, you're still getting more value for your money there than you would for a PlayStation 5 digital. And then just buy the games there. Even with PlayStation Plus, you're still getting a better deal money-wise, right? But value is different for each person. If you already have PlayStation games and you want to play on your PlayStation, then get a PlayStation. If you have Xbox games, and you own digital ones, obviously, because they have no disc drive, you would get an Xbox because you can still play your old games there. But each value is different for everybody. Waterbear says $49.99 incoming. At $360 a year, and you don't own a single game, that's nonsense. You don't own games now. I've had this conversation. They tell you if you're gonna. What are they? They're just coming out now with Oblivion Remastered, a copy, like a physical copy, coming out this month. Okay, it came out in May. Right? Most people bought the game digitally, right? Now, if they want the digital copy, now they buy it again, right? You're really telling new gamers to buy a Series S over a Digital 5? Which of those is going to play GTA 6 well? I'm not telling you to buy shit. Don't put words in my mouth. I just gave you two examples. I said, if you are already an Xbox person, get an Xbox. If you're already a PlayStation person, get a PlayStation. And if you're looking for best value with your money, you would get the Series S over the PlayStation because you're getting best value for your money. Get out of here with this shit telling me I'm telling people to buy. I'm not telling people to buy shit. You buy whatever you want. Go buy a fucking Xbox Ally X. I don't give a shit. New gamer has 1 million options besides GTA 6. Ron says, I own Concord, but when I try to play it, it doesn't work. It's all right. Keep trying, Ron. Keep trying. What do you think the best value is in gaming? The value of whatever you want to buy. It's your money. If you think $1,000 ROG Ally X is worth your value, then buy it. I'm not buying it. Fucking crazy to think of paying $1,000 for a handheld device for a small screen. Did they show the other characters, Jason, about the Cosmic Invasion? Did they announce the last two characters? Yeah, this is on the Steam page. Do they show all the characters now? They have a beta or demo on Steam right now, Travis. What's going on, Chief? They still haven't shown the last guys, huh? It says 2025, but they haven't said it yet, huh? Still haven't said it. Charles, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. He says, not everyone cares about GTA 6. I have 2 Pros and a digital PlayStation 5, not buying GTA 6. How dare you tell people you have a PlayStation, Charles, and you're not buying GTA 6? Top Gun says, sure, value is subjective, but essentially the same price. The Series S is objectively worse than the PlayStation 5. You're talking about a much lower powered device, less storage, but I disagree. And you're allowed to disagree. You asked me what your best value is. Value is based on you, and that's the first thing I said. And I said, if you have Xbox games, then buy an Xbox. If you have PlayStation games, get a PlayStation. I said, if you're brand new to gaming and you're looking for money value, the Series S would be a better value because of Game Pass. Titan says not buying GTA 6. We'll see after GTA 6 releases. Yeah. The projection is 48 million people are buying in the first year GTA 6. That's what they projected. 48 million people, which is redonkulous. All right, let's go with the last thing we're going to talk about, which is Legendary Gaming's video here of the gaming industry has lost its mind. All the links are in the description down below. If you like Legendary drops, go over his channel, watch the video without me stopping and pausing and giving you my thoughts. Let's get started.
For the second time this year, and Nintendo's out here selling 18-year-old games for $70. Oh, and also announcing a paid DLC for a game that doesn't even exist yet. We already have quality issues with these games. We can't even trust the vast majority of them to be playable when they launch. We've seen more industry layoffs, and it feels like this industry has employees, and yet regardless of the failed launches, the stumbles, the random issues...
We're not going to be watching that right now, Travis.
And just the flat-out bad games, it feels like we just keep seeing more games at an infinitely increasing rate. And it begs the question, who's going to buy it all? I can't be the only one that's sitting here thinking to myself, there's just way too many games that have come out this year. And while we've had some good ones, some really good ones.
We've had good ones, but also bad performance-wise, right? I would consider Borderlands 4 a good one. I would consider Monster Hunter Wild's good, but the performance on both of these are horrible.
It's getting to the point where even they're going to go on the back burner. And while that's great, we can go ahead and buy and play games whenever we want to. That's not how this industry is built. This industry is built for day one sales, and I do not think people are going to show up for it. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about how unaffordable this hobby has become.
Which is funny because I think when was this video done? The video was done 4 days ago, right? 4 days ago. And now we have $30 Game Pass. Right, $30 Game Pass, raising the price of all the consoles and whatnot.
Talk about how regardless of the quality of some of these games, they're still going to fail.
Games coming out $70, $80, $120 for the bonus edition, digital edition, whatever, the gold edition. Come out, broke, buggy, unfinished. Get finished over the next 6, 8, 12 months.
in sales, and how at some point the AAA industry really needs to learn from their indie competition because the price isn't right. But before that, Displate heard I like Path of Exile, and
This man's got more displates than wall space.
I think they took it a little bit too seriously. Displate has officially licensed Path of Exile 2 metal prints, and as somebody who is way too deep into that game, this is a dangerous development because Path of Exile has some of the sickest art in the genre, and now I've got those prints sitting up in my office. And I'm not saying that it's guaranteed for better loot, but I do have a new poster to be able to pray to every time
Those are cool looking. And they have that like little texture to it.
I need a divine drop. If you haven't tried Displate out before, they make high-quality metal posters that mount magnetically, no tools, no wall damage, and they're so easy to be able to install and swap out whenever you move. They've got over 1 million designs across anime, games, movies, and more.
Did you just say 1 million designs? 1 million designs?
Including textured and limited edition prints. Between this new Path of Exile line and all of the other additions and drops that these guys have sent me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Displate, I love your product, but seriously, I have nowhere else to put them right now. I'm starting to look at my ceiling at this point.
See? He's got, because he gets sponsored by them all the time. He gets sponsored by them all the time. He's got more posters than room.
So if you like the designs or maybe want to check out something else, go to displate.com/L/legendary drops to get the best deal. Check the pinned comment and the link.
The only thing I don't like about them, I know they do sell them with like a frame, but the frames are expensive. I feel like when you're in college and stuff, you have posters on your wall and you have no frames because you're broke. And then when you're an adult, you have picture frames. You know what I mean? But of course, you don't have cool picture frames. You just have picture frames of things you don't give a shit about, right? But when you get these things, I feel like they look collegey, and I get it, that's the clientele they're going for. I just wish there was like some sort of maybe they could make it look like there's a border on it. Do you know what I mean? Like just the edge of it. Don't put a picture, make it look like it's an actual frame on there. I don't know.
Link in the description. I feel like this has simultaneously been one of the best years for games, but one of the worst years for actually gaming. We've been hit with a tsunami of awesome releases, some of the most anticipated titles in years, but also some of the worst performance issues, constant demands for higher-end hardware, and news almost every month about price hikes. It's like, yeah, a lot of this stuff looks great on paper, but can people even run these games, let alone even afford the hobby at all anymore? Take Borderlands 4. As much as I think it's one of the strongest entries in the franchise, it ran like garbage at launch. It's still...
Yeah. If a game runs like garbage at launch, you can't tell me it's an 8 out of 10. If it doesn't run when it launches and runs 6 months afterwards, right? Because Borderlands came out 2 weeks early because they pushed it up. It didn't work when it came out. It missed the 23rd when it was supposed to come out. We're now 1 week after than it was originally supposed to come out. And they still have frame rate issues. They still have performance issues.
Runs like garbage right now.
But they sold a lot of copies, and they're going to fix it, but they're going to take their sweet time. And they're already coming out with more content, another Vault Hunter, because that's how they keep people coming back. That's how they sell more copies. Like, oh, I didn't want to pick it up, but now they have this guy. I'm gonna buy that.
Sure, if you're sitting at a $5,000 PC, you can brute force your way into a decent experience, but that's not the reality for 99% of players. On console, the optimization is so bad that the game's performance would degrade every half hour until you were forced to restart the game just to keep it playable. The longer you played, the worse it got. It has become such a mess on console that Gearbox has had to suspend the Switch 2 release indefinitely, even after already taking pre-orders. At least these guys refunded the money, but come on, how is it acceptable to sell a version of your game?
It's not, but they're going to sell it because people keep buying it. And if you keep buying it, why would they change it?
On hardware before you even know it can run. And this isn't just a Borderlands 4 problem. Almost every major AAA release in the past 5 years has shipped with significant performance issues, unless it's a console exclusive where the hardware is fully optimized for specifically that game. The industry is now building games for a performance ceiling that doesn't actually exist in the market right now. That's not just for consoles, but for most PC setups, and it's just leaving us in the dust. So if the current hardware is already struggling, if these consoles are already being dated and they're out of relevance, then riddle me this. Why is Xbox raising the price of their console for the second time in 5 months? I
would assume because people keep buying, and they know people buy it. Because now if someone buys it, they basically sold 2 Xboxes. If one person buys one Xbox Series X, they basically sold the price of what it originally was. They sold 2 Xboxes, right? Or 2 Series S's or whatever. One Xbox Series X is like 2.5 Series S's. as sales wise.
In May of 2025, Xbox made one of the biggest price hikes in industry history. Consoles went up by 20 to 27%. Accessories went up by 8 to 15%. The bottom of the line Series S jumped from $300 to $380, where the top of the line Series X went from $600 to $730. Now, just 5 months later, they've done it again. The Series S is now $400, and the
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Series X is now $800, and those
5 years into the cycle, and they're raising the prices.
Might not sound insane at first glance, but for consoles, machines that are supposed to be the
And now what this is going to do for the next Xbox, for the next PlayStation, people are going to go, oh, wait a minute. If I don't buy it now, let's say it's $1,000. Let's say the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox whatever comes out. Okay, it's $1,000 when it comes out. People are like, well, I'm going to have to buy $1,000 because they could raise it to $1,300 years later, right? Now that's what they're thinking. People are thinking, well, if I buy it early, well, then I'm getting the better deal.
Casual, affordable entry point into gaming, that is pushing way outside of the comfort zone of most players today. And if this is what counts as the accessible option, I honestly do not see how this hobby is going to stay accessible for very long. In an article from The Gamer written by Jack Coleman titled Ex-Blizzard Boss says tariffs are just an excuse for Xbox to raise prices, the writer Jack Coleman writes, the prices of both the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S are set to rise in the United States, with Microsoft blaming the changing macroeconomic
I love the fucking macroeconomics
environment for the price hikes. In other words, Xbox is blaming the ongoing
they're still in the stores, right? Costco stopped selling it because they probably didn't want to deal with it anymore. Okay, I went to Best Buy because I had to buy this audio mixer, and they had Xboxes behind the counter. And I asked the guy, "Are you going to remove those, or are you just raising the price when they raise the price?" The guy said he was just raising the price, right? They didn't take those stock that they had already in the store, put it back on a pallet, put it back on a truck, take the truck back to the thing, and pay for the actual entrance fee into the country. No, that stock's already here. Right? The macroeconomic bullshit. These systems are not even flying off the shelf. Right? They're not flying off the shelf. You know what I saw also at Costco the other day? Okay, because we go every like 10 days or so. I've never seen this at Costco. They never ever put the system out for display. Right? It's just a pallet. They got the box on top. It's got the little slots. You know what I'm talking about? Where you just pick one up, bring it to the register, and then they they take it out of the back room. They actually have a PlayStation and a Switch 2 on display now. Okay? Where you can see the actual console and the controller and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Which tells me that people would actually buy more if they could see the product. They could never see the product. You would just see a cardboard cutout of the thing.
Tariffs for the price increases. Ex-Blizzard president Mike Ybarra is critical of these price increases, saying that Microsoft is using tariffs as an excuse to try to squeeze more profit from Xbox. Ybarra had described the first price increases as justified given the sudden implementation of tariffs, but he believes this new price increase is more cynical. Console price increases are not tariff.
I think they're both cynical because they haven't sold, at least for Xbox, they haven't sold the product they had already in the States.
Issues, they are profit issues, his post reads, and the reason why profits are not where they should be is a far, far deeper issue versus the tariff excuse. He later added tariffs went up once, so that does justify a single price increase. An excuse to continue raising prices with no new increase in tariffs is simply a different problem, and they are going to make consumers continue to pay for those problems. Now, some of you guys might remember this. I mentioned this back when I first covered the first round of price hikes in May. Tariffs or no tariffs, these increases are an excuse to squeeze more profit out of their customers. Yes, tariffs have always been a part of the conversation. Chinese-made consoles make up a bulk of that side of the U.S. imports, but the reality is these companies are just using them as cover. They are the ones who consolidated their
My Costco switched to empty boxes of consoles. They don't even have the boxes. Costco just has a pallet, and they just have the slots. You're telling me they put empty boxes display? They don't even have, they just have big, huge boxes of the product there?
Manufacturing in one country to save money. They are the ones that let themselves be exposed to trade policy, and now we are the ones that are footing the bill. And we know that is the case because when some of these tariffs have been delayed, rolled back, or even came with exemptions, prices never went down. Not a single time. Because these prices were never about faithfully tracking the tariffs in the first place. It was just about ratcheting up the baseline and then never walking it back. And it's not just me.
Yeah, they're never lowering the price. And if they lower the price, it's for the holidays, and then it goes back to cheaper, but it's still more than what it was originally.
Saying it when even someone like Mike
You actually can look that up, Quintar. You can actually see if you look at the serial number, because remember when Nintendo Switch 1 was out, and they brought in new Nintendo Switches, and people didn't know if they were getting a new Switch or an old Switch. If you look at the barcode on the back, you could tell if it was an older model or a newer model.
Barra is calling these price hikes money grabs. You know the excuse is starting to wear thin. Moves like this are just making gaming a hostile hobby to get into. These price hikes, tariffs or not, are not keeping pace with wages, and people just simply can't afford it. Worse off, the quality of these games is not rising with these prices either, so why would anybody want to buy into this?
That's very weird that they have empty boxes, Titan, because that means they removed the product from the box. I've only seen the cardboard sheets for every single one. Here, I actually took a picture of it the other day. Let's see. Right? This is all, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Right? Those are all PlayStations. No boxes. Right? Those are all, right? And then next to it, you can't really see it, but there's the PlayStation. I'll zoom in more, right? There's the PlayStation 5s and the PlayStation 5 Pros or whatever. Okay? Like that or the digital version. Okay? They're all just the shot. Now, everyone's telling me they're selling out like hotcakes. Look how many are there. Right? There's just a shit ton of them. Look at them all. Back and front. There's no boxes there, at least in mine. I don't know yours, but.
And it's not just Xbox doing it to their customers. Everybody's doing it to their customers. Look at Nintendo. They already tested the waters with Mario Kart World at $80. Now they're turning around and they're asking $70 for a Switch 2 bundle of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Two games that are over a decade old with no new content, just upscaled visuals. And yet they're asking for a brand new release price. And if you guys thought it stopped there, well, you'd be wrong, because Nintendo is launching Pokemon Z and A at $70. But during their latest Nintendo Direct, they made an announcement for a day one DLC that you can pre-purchase right now for another $30. That means if you want the full...
Is that a new display? No, that's old. I didn't even take a picture of the new one. This is back on May 30th. That's May 30th. Right? That's May 30th. They've had it. It's always been like that. It's just constant cardboard things. And everyone always tells me that, oh, yeah, they're selling out. They're selling this. They're selling that. I walk in there, and there's a pallet. No one's touched it. For all systems. For all systems.
Game on day one, you're looking at $100. And it doesn't even end there. It doesn't even end with the sticker price. Most of the content is still going to be locked behind another wall, Nintendo's online subscription. If you do not pay for that, well, you're not going to be able to access all the rewards or evolutions that are going to be tied to the DLC. Yes, Nintendo is literally paywalling Pokemon Evolutions now. In an article from IGN titled Pokemon Legends ZA's $30 Mega Dimension DLC pushes the price of owning every Mega Evolution to $100 on the Switch 2, Tom Phillips writes, Nintendo's decision to announce costly DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA and lock 3 Mega Evolutions behind an active Nintendo Switch online subscription has prompted fan complaints over the amount of money required to unlock every creature. Last Friday's Nintendo Direct included the announcement of Mega Dimensions, a $30 DLC that includes additional story content and allows fans to encounter 2 new Mega Evolutions, Mega Raichu X and Mega...
Make a problem, sell a solution. Nintendo doing it right.
Mega Raichu Y. 3 other Mega Evolutions were also confirmed for the Kalos starter Pokemons, Delphox, Chestnut, and Greninja, with the small print revealing that these would only be available post-launch as rewards for competing in...
And then what they also do, Aku, when you go to Target or Walmart, they'll only put like 2 or 3 inside the case. They put the rest in the back. That way it looks like they're selling more. Because if I come into the store and I see a full stock of something, I'm not going to buy it because I know it's there. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I see one left on the shelf, okay, I'm like, oh my God, I got to buy it before there's no more. That's been a sales tactic always. Always.
online ranked battles, which requires a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. With Pokemon Legends ZA already at $70 on the Switch 2 or $60 on the original Switch, fans were quick to note that the $30 Mega Dimension DLC, announced weeks before the game's launch and available to pre-order already, pushes the price of owning every Mega Evolution to $100. On top of that, the need to have an active Nintendo Switch Online subscription only adds to the costs involved, and with each of the 3 granted over subsequent in-game seasons, players will need to keep their Switch Online active for multiple months and win ranked battles to unlock the lot. I just find this utterly ridiculous. We have now reached the point where Nintendo isn't just trying to strangle the industry with lawsuits and patents on basic gameplay.
Luke, so what's $14.99 like pound wise in the US? Is that double? Is that the same price, $30? Or is that because ours is now it's 10 still, 15 and then 30.
Mechanics. They've also been the first to jack up the base price of games to $80, and now they're paywalling the very identity of their own series. Evolutions are not bonus content, they are foundational, yet here we are with a $30 DLC on top of a $70 game, and if you want it all, you're still forced to keep up a subscription service while they drip feed mechanics back to you. I can't believe I'm saying this. Charles
says, I shop on the military base. They have consoles in stacks over at the store. Yeah. People tell you all the time, and look, I worked in retail. They used to tell you, don't put them all out on the thing, because what happens is people, during holidays, you don't want to put all the stock on the thing, okay? Because if you put everything out, people get like a mad rush, right? So you want to put a little bit, right? You put a little bit on there, and if you see 1 or 2 left, people buy it and take it. And then when people leave and you bring out the next one, happens all the time. It's a super strategy that's been around for decades and decades and decades.
Nintendo is worse than Activision. It's absolute whiplash. The company that sells...
It's not gone up last new layout. Well, the prices haven't gone up yet. It's still the same prices as of right now. They don't know when that goes into effect.
Itself as the family-friendly, consumer-safe option is squeezing its players harder than anybody else. And here's the part that really
they haven't said an announcement of when the new prices go into effect.
Is just how broken this has all become, because for the price of Pokemon and its DLC, you could buy Silksong, Expedition 33, and Hades, all of this year's strongest contenders for Game of the Year, and still have money left over. I mean, I guess this is where we're at right now, paying more, getting less, and if this is what's passing for normal now, then maybe the question isn't how much people are going to pay, it's how fast they're going to walk away. The amount of Pokemon that I played as a kid is indicated by my glasses prescription, which is that I am legally blind. That Game Boy never left my hands, and never in all of my years, I never thought we would see the day where Nintendo would paywall Pokemon Evolutions. Nintendo fans, Pokemon fans, the people that are defending this, listen to me for just a second. You are one step removed from seeing your Pokemon evolve and getting a pop-up that says $15 to proceed.
Yes, he is 100% correct. Right? One, Nintendo fans, you are the reason, you're the problem. If you're okay, keep doing what they're doing, then they're going to keep pushing and see what they can get away with. If you push back and don't pay for this stuff, they will change their ways. But he's not wrong here. He hasn't finished what he's saying yet. But the pop-up thing, they are that close. Then they will do it.
Or cancel Evolution. Who's that Pokemon? It's money. It's money is what it is. This is just crazy. The Xbox price increases too. If you want sustainable gameplay on a console in 2025, you are paying $750 to $800. That is just insane to me. And what does that mean for the next series of consoles? We're looking at $1,000 a pop. We're looking at $1,200 a pop. That's PC territory. At that point, you have completely excluded the casual audience from being able to play any video games anymore. And that's my biggest worry when it comes to some of this stuff. Maybe that's what these guys want. Maybe they just want to squeeze the willing as much as they possibly can and then push the unwilling into subscription services, into free-to-play, into mobile, into places where I can't get $800 out of you today, but I can definitely get $800 out of you over the course of a couple of months.
Right. Well, of course. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Things are just going too fast. This is way too aggressive, and I just do not see this being sustainable for these guys. I do not see it working out that well for them. And that brings me to a whole other issue. The sheer volume of games that we've seen released this year. And it doesn't matter if they're good or bad. When you stack these record-breaking prices on top of a bloated release schedule, it stops being exciting and it starts feeling impossible.
Yeah, it does. because you're like, oh, I want to play this game, right? Like just in this alone. Here, let me minimize this for a second, right? Look at the games coming out in this month, right? We're on October 2nd, 1st, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 games, right? And these are just the games that are showing on this browser, right? 30 games. The average person buys 3 to 5 games a year. Okay? There's 30 games. This month alone, you have Kingsmaker. You have Battlefield 6, Nightmares 3, right? You got Bloodlines 2. You got Painkiller. Okay? You got Outer Worlds 2. Okay? You have Arc Raiders. Right? You have Yote coming out. Right? You have all of these games coming out. It's impossible for everyone to buy all of these games all the time. And even when you buy them, you just put them on your backlog. And it's like, you're allowed to have a backlog. But it's like, why pay full price for a game that you're not going to play until 4 months from down the line? And 4 months down the line, that game's going to be $10 cheaper, $15 cheaper.
And if it feels impossible for somebody like me who doesn't actually have to pay for most of these games, I still end up paying for most.
I always find that funny as well. Not digging on him in any way, shape, or form. The people that make content about the game never buy the game. So when they tell you about the game, they didn't put their own money towards it.
Most of them anyway, just to clear the buy.
Like he said, he buys it, okay? But most of the people get the games for free, and then they give away a copy or something like that. But when you don't buy it, you completely think differently than when you buy something.
Yes, and whatnot. But
let me listen to him again when he says that.
If it feels impossible for somebody like me who doesn't actually have to pay for most of these games, I still end up paying for most of them anyway, just to clear the bias and whatnot. But there are only so many players. There's only so many paychecks. And this industry has convinced themselves that those limits don't exist. When I sat down to write for this video, I realized something insane. In just the last couple of weeks, we've had Silksong, Borderlands 4, Dying Light the Beast, Silent Hill F, Hades 2, and now Ghost of Yote that's all dropping within days of each other. That is a stacked lineup, and for the most part, most of these games are reviewed pretty strong. The fan reception has been pretty high, but looking ahead, seeing Battlefield 6 set for October, as well as a couple of other big releases before the end of the year, I just can't see how all of these games are going to sell. Not because they're bad, but just because most people are still playing one of those games that just dropped, or they just don't even have the time or the money to even start any of these games. And I think this is where the problem really comes into focus, because out of all of those games, 4 of those games are $70 each. Silksong was $20, Hades 2 was $30, and if I had to put money on it, I'd probably say that Silksong and Hades 2 are probably going to outsell the rest, simply because you can buy both of those games for less than the cost of one of the others. But buying all of these games would run you over $300, and that's just not happening for the majority of people right now. And the longer this release schedule
Waterbear's just going to play Path of Exile 2 for the rest of his life. He's good.
Continues to accelerate like this, and the more months we see that are packed like this, the more difficult it's going to become to avoid a problem. Now, look, I get it. Not everybody is going to buy every single game. Not everybody's going to buy all of these games all at once. Not everybody's going to be interested in a lot of these games. We all have our tastes and interests, but the expectation from the industry is to reach beyond their core audience and scoop up as many people as they possibly can, and I just don't see that being realistic. That mindset is exactly why we've seen so many projects canceled, studios shuttered, and wave after wave of industry layoffs. This industry
is doing the exact same thing as movies. The budget for the movies are way too high. The budgets for the video games are way too high. They're not going to get the return on an investment because their budgets are way too high. If you have a $100 million game, you got to sell 5 million copies, right? With marketing and everything, you have to sell like 5 million copies. Well, if you're making a game 250 million, 350 million, guess what? You have to sell way more than 5 million. You got to sell like 10 million, 12 million. Okay? If you have a game like Hades, where maybe it costs 40, 50 million, okay, and you sell 2 million copies, fantastic, right? Maybe even less than that, fantastic.
Hasn't come to terms yet with the sheer number of barriers that they have built between players and their games. The first barrier should be obvious. It's whether or not these games are even playable at launch. Take some of the highest rated multi-platform releases this year: Monster Hunter Wilds, Silent Hill F, Metal Gear Solid, Borderlands 4. Each one of them had major technical issues, and it's not just because these games are bad. Most of these games are actually pretty good, but it's because these developers are assuming that everybody is playing on top-end hardware, but that's just not the reality. These games aren't only demanding a sticker price, they're also demanding the newest console refresh, a PlayStation 5 Pro, an Xbox Series X, a PC with a 40 series GPU and the most cutting-edge CPU, add frame generation, AI-driven features.
Gaming Fire says buying 200 games a month. Yeah, it gives you what, like 30 just to say 30 days a month at the 200 games, and then it's 24 hours in a day. It's like 700. Yeah, so basically you're paying for 15 minutes each game for 8 hours for the entire month. So let's say you only played 8 hours a day, roughly, you can pay like 15, 17 minutes per game for the month.
Unreal Engine 5 workloads, and suddenly you're not just paying to own the game.
You don't sleep? You don't sleep at all?
Now paying thousands of dollars just to make sure that you can even run them. Now, going back to Borderlands 4, the CEO has finally gone quiet now that multiple hardware reviewers like Hardware Unboxed, Digital Foundry, and Gamers Nexus have stepped up and torn the game apart. They outright challenged Randy Pitchford to repeat his claims about DLSS and frame generation on camera. And why? Because, well, the game launched in a disastrous state. Instead of taking responsibility, the CEO tried to act like it was everybody else's problem. His message was basically buy better hardware.
Tasteful Thickness says modern gamers don't own anything. What's the point? It's like Spotify. I use emulation. I mean, to play a video game is just about your time, right? If you want to buy it, you can buy it. You don't have to own it to play it. It's just your time. If you like video games, you like listening to music, if you like reading books, it's your time. You want to take 2 minutes, you want to take 2 hours, you want to take 20 minutes. Doesn't matter.
If you want to play our premium game that's made for premium players, and that's the attitude right there. It's not just Gearbox, it's the mindset of the entire...
Xbox is raising the price of Game Pass. The lower tiers are staying the same. They're getting rid of Core and putting it as Essential, Premium, and Ultimate. And the Ultimate, they're raising up 50%. So it's going from $15 to $30. So if you're paying $20 on console, you're paying $30, and if you're paying $15, you're paying $30. They're raising the price of Game Pass. We don't know when it goes into effect, though. I'm assuming soon.
Industry. Come on, broke people. Skip your rent and buy a 5090 just to be able to run our cell-shaded looter shooter.
You can only do that for a little bit, though. Right, Tasteful Thickness? If you want to keep up with the Joneses, again, I'm not saying you, but if people want the newest, latest, greatest thing, for instance, again, Oblivion came out in May, right? In May. Digital only. People bought that. They're like, oh my God, I want to get Oblivion. They bought it, right? Or they played it on Game Pass. Now they're making Oblivion physical copy. So if you want to own it now, if you didn't wait, you already own it digitally, but now you're buying the physical. You can only buy physical if the companies allow you to buy physical. When the companies decide that there is no more physical, then you have no choice. Right? Then you would buy it or emulate it or whatever. But sure, you can own your books until they don't make copies of books anymore. You can own your movies until they don't make the actual physical movies anymore.
It's the level of contempt that we're dealing with. That's the assumption that a lot of these people are running with. Hardware is not even the only barrier anymore. Just getting into some of these games comes with a maze of extra costs and hoops to be able to jump through. Half of them want you to have a subscription service just to be able to access core features like Nintendo paywalling evolutions. Others are locking content behind season passes, online only, or deluxe editions. And there's always online DRM, launchers stacked on top of launchers, account linking across platforms. Every year, there's another layer shoved between the player and the game. And it's not just about buying the box anymore. You're buying the box.
Technically, Chief, you say you own your PlayStation 5, but did you hear the stories about the people owning the Nintendo Switches? They own the Nintendo Switch too, but Nintendo can block them out from playing their game anytime they want. Anytime they want. They can just brick your device. I'm not saying PlayStation's doing that. I'm just saying you think you own stuff until you don't, which is another reason I wouldn't buy Nintendo right now. If Nintendo has the option to brick my system because they think I'm doing something nefarious or not, fuck you. It's my system. I gave you the money. Don't tell me how to use it.
the subscription, the DLC roadmap, the console upgrade, and the privilege of troubleshooting performance issues on day
I want to use it as a doorstop. If I want to use it to emulate things, I want to open it up and change however I want. That's my device. I gave you the money.
one. And I think that's the bigger issue here. It's not just one game or one bad launch or one company that's pushing their luck or one CEO that's talking shit. It's an entire AAA ecosystem that's straining under its own weight. Publishers are flooding the market faster than customers can possibly even keep up with, stacking release after release as if money and free time are just infinite resources, but they're not. There are only so many players, only so many paychecks, and only so many hours in the week.
We're all competing about time, right? I've talked about this before on my channel, right? Where not only are gamers competing, like developers competing with other gamers, other game companies, but they're also competing with Netflix. They're also competing with YouTube. They're also competing with regular television. They're also competing with sports. They compete with everything. Everything's competing for your time, not your money, your time, because your time can equal to money. Okay, you can play a free-to-play game and play it for hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And because you're in that game for hundreds of thousands of hours, there's that chance that you purchase something of a microtransaction. And as long as you're playing their game or watching their show or on their streaming service, you're not spending time or money in someone else's streaming service or someone else's game or someone else's thing, right? And that's what they're trying to go for. They're milking us for our time. This is why my number one thing is respect the player's time. If you make a game and you respect the player's time, people will buy your game. If you don't respect people's time, they'll say, go screw yourself.
This industry acts like this audience is bottomless, but in reality, things are a lot more brutal than that. People have limits, and we're watching some of those limits get hit in real time right now. Prices keep rising, requirements keep rising, and yet the quality of the average release keeps sliding. It's not like there haven't been great games this year. There's been a lot of them, but they've been buried under an avalanche of other launches, day one patches, and performance nightmares. Even the games that deserve to succeed are being drowned out because the industry just refuses to pay.
No, what Aku is saying, Charles, he's not new to gaming. What he's saying is even your old Nintendo games, you don't own them. You have a license for them. You own the physical copy, right? You own the physical copy. Like, obviously, right, they're not going to come to your door, open the door, and rip it out of your hands. You own it. But on a technical aspect, you do not own the games, right? That's what he's saying. Obviously, you're saying, like, well, I have it. You can't take it. Yeah.
Pace itself. Instead of celebrating a hit, these publishers are just shoving the next one out the door, convinced that there's always going to be money waiting on the other side. I mean, how much longer can that illusion hold? Who's really buying 4 or 5 $70 games in a single month? Who's dropping $800 on a console upgrade or thousands of dollars?
It's the same thing with DVDs, right? You're not allowed to use the license or copyright. This is a license. You can watch the movie, like you own the license to watch the movie, but you're not allowed to sell the movie or make copies of that thing. It's the exact same thing. People used to get a movie, rip it into their computer, and then sell copies of it. That's against the law, okay? But you own the copy. You can do what you want. I can loan it to somebody. I can play it. I can snap it in half. I can use it as a coaster. I can fling it as a frisbee. It doesn't really matter what I want to use it for. But technically, you don't own it. You own the license.
On a PC overhaul, just to be able to keep up with an arms race that the vast majority of us...
El Dente says, oh, you own a physical copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? Go play it.
Never even signed up for. At some point, something has to give, and you can already see that in the way that players are making their choices today. Indie and mid-tier games are thriving right now, not just because they're creative or unique, but just because they're sustainable. For the cost of one AAA release, you can grab 3 or 4 of these indie titles that actually run on the hardware that most people already own right now. And the studios that are selling those games, they don't need to sell them to everybody to be able to break even on it. They just need to make sure that their audience shows up for it. AAA does not work that way. Their budgets demand tens of millions in sales every single time just to be able to justify the expense. And when those sales don't show up, the result isn't reflection or restraint, it's layoffs.
No, but what he's saying, Tasteful Thickness, is that you don't own the game. You own the physical copy of it. You don't own the game. That's all he's saying. You guys are misconstruing like you own it. Yes, I own it. I have a copy. Guess what? I own Battleborn. I own the physical copy of Battleborn. I have a physical disc, but guess what? I can't play it. I can't play it because they decided to shut down the thing that's working, right? I can't play the game, right? This happens all the time with games that they delist. You can own the physical thing, but you do not own the game. If it's live service, if it's not live service, if it's online or not online, they can stop you from playing certain things if they want to.
Studio closures, and the same executives pointing their finger anywhere other than themselves. They'll blame the tariffs or the fans or changing market conditions, but they'll never actually admit the obvious problem, which is that their business model is broken. And that's where all this is heading, an unsustainable ecosystem, spiraling prices, spiraling requirements, spiraling expectations, all pushing against an audience that cannot and will not stretch its wallet forever. You can raise your prices, you can...
Here. Let me go get you the proof of the thing that I own that I can't use. Hold on. Here's a copy of Battleborn. This is a non-online game. It was a single-player / MOBA game. Okay, I could play the single-player game without ever going online. I can no longer play this game. I have the disc. I can play it. I can do anything I want with this disc, but play the actual game. Right? It's a single player game. I didn't need to play with anybody. But they closed it because of the MOBA aspect of it, because they didn't want to support the MOBA version of it. But the single player game on this thing is gone. Can't play it.
Raise the stakes. You can do whatever you want.
That's one example of many things that I own a physical copy of that I can't play.
But it's only going to be a matter of time before this entire house of cards collapses. And when it does, it won't just be one studio or one release. It'll be the entire structure of AAA crashing into the reality that it's basically spent all of these years.
No, I can't play it. It's a single player game and I can't play it. There was a MOBA aspect to it, but there was a completely separate single player game mode that you leveled up characters, and you can no longer play that game.
Doesn't exist. I was looking at the some odd top 20 games that released this year, and it's almost $1,200 if you bought every single one of those releases. That is just insane to me. That is so much money, and that's not affordable for a lot of people. And
why not put it in the game console?
It would be less than $200 if you just bought the indies. It would be some odd $300 if you bought the indies and the AA games that came out. If that was the case, and those are the only games that you bought this year, man, you did really well. And bonus is you're actually able to run those games on nearly any piece of hardware right now. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think, and I've been saying this for a while, as this industry continues to increase their prices and increase the demand on hardware demands and put up more barriers in this industry, it's just going to make people more wary and critical of games before they're even released, or even after they're released in some cases. It's one of the reasons why I think we've seen so...
If you have to go online to play it, you don't own it. There's games that you don't need to go online and they still close them down because of licensing issues. There's games that they delist all the time. You're paying for the license. You're not paying for the game.
Much culture warring around video games, and it's because I think a lot of people are looking for any reason not to be interested in these games. And it's not just because they hate video games. It's just because they're looking for excuses not to spend their money. That's really what it's coming down to. And in some cases, you actually have people that are looking forward to and actually kind of hoping that a game that they were interested in turns out to be bad just to be able to save themselves the money and also save themselves from the FOMO. And undoubtedly, you're going to have some of that almost every year with all these games. There's just too many of them. Beyond that, and this is something that kind of gave me a little bit of a pit in my stomach, and this is the one thing that kind of hates about one of the things. I'm sorry, man. I hurt my back, and I have been taking medication to be able to handle the pain that I've been
pot. He's probably smoking pot or taking gummies.
Going through. But what I was going to say,
I don't know if that's true,
is we've seen 5 or 6 really good games drop within weeks of each other. And while I think undoubtedly some of those games are going to do really well, some of those games are going to fail financially, and it's not even their fault. And it's just because people are overwhelmed. There's just too many games in the market. It's too much money to be spending. People are already going to be spending their time in one game. They're not going to be ready to go shoot over to another one already. And that ultimately ends up meaning layoffs, studio closures, less money to be able to put towards the next game that they're working on. And I squarely place the blame on AAA. It is their fault for the situation that the industry is in right now, because
AAA games is exactly what's happening to blockbuster movies. Exactly the same. The exact same thing that's happening in the movie industry right now is happening to AAA games. Their budgets are just way too high, and there's just not enough people going to watch or seeing any of the stuff. This is the difference.
Because they have flooded the market with so many games and so much marketing that it's made it financially impossible for most people to be able to keep up with all these releases. And at the exact same time, it's made it even more difficult for some of these games to be able to get the visibility that they deserve. I don't know. I don't know where this all goes. The only thing that I can think of is that hopefully it'll all just sort itself out financially. That these guys will see the numbers, they'll see their games underperforming and say, hey, maybe we should slow down a little bit. But this industry has a really hard time with learning the right lessons from some of their mistakes. So I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see on some of that stuff. But as much as I love the content and being able to cover all these games, this is just too much, man. This is just way too much. Maybe it's just because we're right before the holiday season. I guess maybe that makes sense, but not really to me. I just don't see the numbers working out. Not for paying customers. Too much of a good thing can still be too much. Anyway, my back hurts. This is all I can do for my video. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share.
Yeah. So check out Legendary Drops channel down below. Links in the description. Give him a like. Give him a sub. Yeah, that's what I was saying that Aku was saying, right? They can require you to destroy it. They're not going to. They're not going to send guys to your house to take it from you. But he is correct by saying you do not own it. You're just paying for a license, right? Same exact thing when the television set says you're watching an NFL game and any redistribution of this or whatever, blah, 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 right? Like I could put that, I can record it back in the day and put it on VHS, right? Technically, it's against the law, but I own that Super Bowl now, right? Right? They could take that from me if they knew I had it, but they're not going to know, okay? That's what he's saying. Like the license says that you don't own the actual game. It's always said that. Yeah, that's what he's saying. You guys are saying like the actual physical thing. Yeah, of course. No one's coming to your house to take your physical goods away. At least yet, anyway. 2K-Mo, they might knock on your door and be like, we hear that you downloaded this thing, emulate, right? But Nintendo's doing that right now, right? The reason that the companies are going digital, okay, the reason the companies are going digital is because of they want to stop people from reselling their stuff to GameStop, third party, right? Or third party seller, okay? Because they're not making money off of that. How do they stop that? Well, they just said, well, let's not put the full game on the disc, and they have to have access to online. So even if you had a single player game that didn't need online access, you still needed online access to activate the game, right? Once you have that unplugged, it won't work because it needs to identify it that's where it's going. So in the modern gaming, which is the last 15 years, 20 years, most games that if they don't want you to play it, they just say, hey, nope, we're cutting this off. Okay. Delisting, as I said before, means they aren't selling anymore. If you already own it, then you could probably play it. If you have the Xbox that still works it or the PlayStation that still works it, you put it in your system. But also delisting means that you can't also no longer play it. Then what they're doing with the other games that are online, sort of like The Crew, what they're doing with Anthem, what they're doing with other things, they're just stopping it, supporting it anymore because they don't want the server space or anything like that. They're trying to come up with ways to put it into peer-to-peer to put it on your local system so you can play it. What Aku is saying is the license of the game has always said that you don't actually own the game. What you guys are arguing is that if I own Pitfall, I can still put Pitfall into my Atari 2600 and still play Pitfall. I own the game. I 100% agree with you. What Aku is talking about is you've never actually owned the game. If they really wanted to, they can come and take the game away from you. That's what he's saying. You're confusing IP itself with the physical media. We know we don't own the actual IP. No, I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what Aku is saying is the license. You don't own the actual thing. You own the physical good. But if they really wanted to, if a company really wanted to and say, well, you're not allowed to use this anymore, they could come and tell you to destroy it or whatever, which is Nintendo is doing right now. If they don't want you to do something with the Nintendo, they brick it, right? They brick it, which they shouldn't be able to do. Yeah, no one's taking my guns away from me, and no one's taking my games away from me. Physical stuff. Come and get it. Some people have painkillers for muscle pain. I have painkillers because of gaming industry. What time is it? 12 o'clock? All right. We're going to be playing some... here you go. This is from AI Overview. Okay. From AI Overview, take it what you want. I don't care. You guys argue. It says, technically, you have never truly owned video games. Even physical copies from the 1980s and 1990s, what you own is the physical cartridge or disc. But the software itself is licensed to you by the publisher. This is a legal nuisance, right? Nonsense. But what the older physical games, your controller over them, is much closer to true ownership than it is for modern digital games. Okay, that's what he's saying. You've never owned your games. Obviously, you own the physical thing that's on. Obviously, you own the computer disc that they printed it on because they can't take it from you because it's on the disc and you purchased it, but you don't actually own the game. You own the physical thing that the game is on, but you don't own the game. But if the company wants to stop you, now in the modern day, they can stop you because, unfortunately, they can. All right. That's going to do it for us today on the Daily Grind. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We'll be back tomorrow morning for more of the Daily Grind on Thursday. We'll be back this afternoon in about 45 minutes or so to play more Helldivers 2 with Mr. Luke. That'll be over on 30 and Still Gaming. Other than that, we'll be back live tonight over on 30 and Still Gaming, playing other games as well. Probably more Helldivers. And then tomorrow morning, Daily Grind. Tomorrow evening, the Generation X Gaming Podcast. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Gamers united will make the change. Stop buying bros.